All right, so today we are talking about HTA Range Day. It was hosted in about halfway through September. If you don't know what HTA is, it is the Human Trafficking Awareness Range Day, and it's put on to support Deliver Fund, which is an organization that helps to combat human trafficking. So it was put on by Dylan Ruth and Justin Wise, and they did a really great job of really bringing the community together and raising money and awareness for a really awesome cause. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the venue. So Ben Franklin Range was fantastic. Great location, really beautiful and really well equipped, and I think everybody was really happy with the location. If you don't know about Ben Franklin Range, it's in PA, and they have over 1,000 acres of property there, which also gets utilized for ATV trail riding and such. But on top of that, they have a close quarters shoot house. They have 3 ranges, just like short regular ranges with your berms and everything. And then they also have an unknown distance range and a long distance range out to, I want to say, over 1,000 yards. Really cool. Great location. They were kind enough to let us camp there overnight in between the days of the event. And I think it was only $20-30 a night for camping, so that saved us a bunch of money. It was primitive camping though, so you don't get all the, electric, water, all the different, you gotta show up and be ready to primitive camp, which some people, I don't think were really ready to. But it was advertised as primitive camping, and we really enjoyed it. We weren't going to spend money on a hotel or an Airbnb or anything anyways. We were just gonna go to state land or federal land or wherever would have been legal to camp, and that would have been our lodging for the weekend. But it was really cool that we were able to do that right there at Ben Franklin Range. They did have porta potties and whatnot available, so it really, for us, it wasn't too bad. One of my buddies, he brought his whole vehicle full of everything and anything under the sun. I mean, we were eating steak and eggs every single day. It was not that bad for us, and we enjoyed it as a time of being out in the elements, getting together, hanging out as guys, and even getting a small degree of that, camping experience. And the owner of Ben Franklin Range is really cool. I forget his name. I want to say Brian, but he was around the event pretty regularly. We bumped into him a few times, and he was really helpful and really invested in what was going on, and he seemed like a really genuine, cool guy. So I don't have anything really bad to say about Ben Franklin Range. The location is really good. In this 1,000+ acres, you enter kind of towards the top of a valley, and you drive down in. And the ranges, the majority of the ranges are kind of at the halfway mark with the shoot house and everything. And then if you go further down into the bottom of the valley was where all the camping was. And there's also a river that runs through right at the end of the camping area. And I think they also use that camping area as a range when the other ones are full as well. It didn't end up happening at all this weekend though. So that was really worthwhile as far as the event goes, having it at that location. I think the guys did a great job of choosing that place. I think HTA was well served to have it there. I think it worked out really good. So, event structure. It was a 2-day event with 3, we'll call it cells, like 4-hour cells that you could fill. Now you could do 3 separate 4-hour classes, or you could do an 8-hour class and a 4-hour class, depending on what was offered, or you could do a 2-day full event, just one subject, one instructor. That's where you were dedicated for the weekend. And that's what one of our guys chose to do. We'll get into what we did later. But then a couple of us did 3 different cells of 4-hour classes. I would say if you're planning on doing that, it can be a little bit of information overload. Also, if the weather is intense, you could be out in the weather for, basically 12 hours or plus for the weekend. So for us, it was cool because we had an outdoor class for our first cell. It was pretty sunny out. We definitely got some sun and got warmed up and worn out. And then the second class was inside. It was a medical class. So we kind of got to chill out, relax a little bit. And then our third class on Sunday was an outdoor class again. So it worked out really well for us. Basically, we got there on Friday and got down in to the camping area, got all that figured out. They were still, I don't know if you guys heard that, but I think that was an eagle. They were still getting everything kind of sorted up and arranged and figured out, getting the signage put up and everything. There really nothing happened on Friday night. We just kind of got set up and relaxed, hung out for the evening, and got ready for Saturday. So on Saturday, they had sign-in earlier in the morning, and then they did their safety briefing after that was all sorted out. So your typical safety briefing, explaining where everything was, emergency procedures, the whole nine. It was pretty straightforward, and that everything went smoothly with that. Then you kind of went right into your classes, got those sorted out. There was a 1 or 2 hour break in between the cells for you to have lunch, go back down to your campsite if you needed to. And then for Saturday night, they had a white light competition and a night vision competition and a night vision demo. So you could, I forget what they charged, maybe $20 for doing any of those. And you could do basically whatever was more of your preference. We ended up hanging out for the night vision demo for the most part. That was cool. That was Chance from GP Armory, displaying a whole bunch of different kinds of night vision scopes, lasers, basically everything that you want to know about. And it was cool because there's a lot of stuff that like you see in video, but you can't really tell how much of a difference there is, or you kind of get a concept of through media and whatnot, but it's really cool to be able to see all that stuff in action, in effect. He set up like some different targets with different shirts hanging on them through the tree line and whatnot. And it was cool to be able to see how different lights interacted with those patterns and those colors and at distances and all the different things. So he did a really good job with that. I'll be linking everybody that I mentioned either on the screen or in the description below. So definitely go give everybody a follow, check everybody out. And I think that would be awesome because these people really did dedicate a lot to this event. Then we had Sunday morning, which was the your last either 4-hour cell or your last class. And then everything kind of just tapered off. There were some people that left before the Sunday stuff. There were some people that had to leave early for their own emergencies or whatever, or just unplanned situations. And this is probably my one critique of the event, is that they didn't really have like a sign-off gathering. And it would have been cool to be able to have everybody there, kind of review how much money had been raised to that point. I know they didn't have a final number yet, but and then maybe to hear about how the white light competition went and how the night vision competition went, and just all the different, little status updates. That would have been really cool, because I felt like on Sunday it kind of just tapered off and everybody was kind of just like, oh, okay, I guess we're done. But all that to say, and putting on an event like this for the very first time, with as many moving parts and a new facility and just all these different factors, with the limited crew that they had, pretty astounding that they did everything that they did. So that's a pretty minor critique. I did forget to mention on Saturday night or Saturday evening, I guess I should say, they did a raffle as well. So a huge shout out to all the companies that provided products to raise money for Deliver Fund. There was a pretty wide spread of products. They had plate carriers, belts, ammo, uppers, triggers, medical kits, pouches, just all sorts of stuff, And it was cool to kind of just have that social hangout, you know, more relaxed, you know, whatever, at the end of a day of training and shooting. So that was pretty much how the event went. That's a pretty good summary overall of the structure and the timeline of everything. I would say take everything I say with a grain of salt, because this is my first time ever going to a formal firearms course. All of my training has been with people that I've known personally and people that I've had relationships with who are really experienced and qualified people, but I was just lucky enough to be able to train with them privately. So I have not done a lot of any firearms courses prior to these. I do have a little bit of insight into instructor methodology and how a class is formed and stuff, because I've done a lot of martial arts in my life, but it doesn't really relate to the firearms side of things. I'll get a little bit more into what we did specifically, but first I'm going to try to list off all of the classes that were offered so you have a better idea of like what was actually going on at the event. So they had a practical vehicle response class. They had, I'm not going to name all the instructors with these because I don't remember all of them, and I'd probably mess some names and business names up, so just bear with me. They had a practical vehicle response class, red dot pistol, first echelon medical, sudden violence and restraint defeat, discrete surveillance, long range, small unit maneuver, CQB fundamentals and principles, and CQB marksmanship. I think that's all of them. I could be wrong, but don't hold me to it. So what we ended up doing, myself and another guy, is we took all the same classes. We did the red dot pistol Saturday morning with Maddie from Red Letter Project. Really good class, really good time, a lot of fun. I'm going to be doing individual reviews for each of the instructors that I had worked with over the weekend, so I'm not going to get into super detail with each of them on this video. I'm already going pretty long. Then we did Method 47, Ryan. He hosted the first echelon medical, so we did that Saturday evening. And then Sunday morning we did the practical vehicle response with Chance from GP Armory. So we really liked those courses. I do think, again, not only are the people who are taking 4-hour courses having a lot of information overload, but I think a 4-hour course is very short for a lot of what people are trying to learn in these classes. I definitely got the feeling that like some people were trying to condense a lot of information into a short period of time, and that's a really hard thing to do. And it seemed like really with some of the 4-hour classes, you were getting more of a taste of what the full class would be rather than like getting a full intensive course, right? So I think next year, maybe I would recommend people to do like an 8-hour and a 4-hour, or just do the whole single event, whole weekend. So, but that's just my opinion. There's a lot of people who probably feel differently. It was nice to have the variety, because as you're getting worn out throughout a whole weekend of training, you're kind of like that variety keeps you kind of like engaged and interested, whereas I can see that there would probably be some fatigue with people who were revisiting the same topic over and over all weekend. So take it or leave it. That's just an observation on my front. Overall, the whole weekend, one thing that I was impressed about was safety. That was cool to see that everybody took that really seriously. That's one concern from somebody like me who's never been to a formal class before. I'm used to working in a really intimate setting, of being able to be like, okay, wow, everybody's really maintaining really good safety standards here. So huge shout out to all the instructors for doing well at that. I don't think we had any really major violations or concerns over the weekend. Didn't hear of any injuries or anything. So as far as I know, safety went really well. I think that's pretty much it. That's my review for the HTA weekend. I would say a bunch of thank yous to everybody who was there, the instructors who dedicated their time and their energy and their money to come out and do this thing. If you guys don't know, the HTA event was super cheap. I think it was like $200 for the whole weekend. And then I'll get into this in another video, but me and my guys stayed an extra day late, so it wasn't part of HTA, but we stayed for Monday and did the Apex CQB fundamentals course. So that was $100 or $200 as well. Everything was, let's put it this way, everything was greatly discounted because of the fact that it was for a charity and that it was a fundraiser. And I'm pretty sure most of these instructors were basically working for free all weekend. And I know that a lot of them were hosting classes either before the event or after the event to kind of try to cover their travel costs. So, huge shout out to the instructors. I mean, everybody did a great job, and it's just awesome charity to see that people are out there donating their time and energy. Huge shout out, obviously, to the organizers. I think they did a great job. Really thankful for Ben Franklin Range, really thankful for Dylan and Justin, and for all the guys that were helping them out. We got to know some of the guys who were just helping out here and there over the weekend, and I can't name all of them right now, but you know who you are. Thank you so much for your help. Last thing would be Taco Media, taking pictures and videography of the event all weekend. He did like a few hundred pictures in the span of a few weeks, had them all edited and posted out for everybody to use and see, and he did a really great job. So huge shout out to him and the people that helped him. Jeez. Because again, like, I'm pretty sure all these people were just volunteering their time and their energy, and that is huge. That's awesome. I think you guys are rock stars for doing that. I think that's pretty much it as far as what I've got. Thank you for everybody who attended and donated, and the people who bought stuff at the raffle and raised money that way. I'm sure that there was plenty of people who donated money just straight out of pocket for this. So I think those people are fantastic. And I think that this sets a really good foundation for the future and for the events that are going to come and really make a big difference. Other than that, I would just say it was a great event, a lot of fun, a lot of lessons learned, very information dense, and you definitely got your money's worth. Like I said, if you're going to go take these classes independently anywhere else, you're probably going to be paying 4 to 5 times as much for the amount that you got in that weekend, and any normal, regular circumstance. Shout out to everybody that I got to kind of connect with and meet up. That was one cool thing about an event like this, is there's people coming from all over the country. So through this page, I've met a whole bunch of people digitally that I've never met in person. And it was cool to be able to meet you guys and to hang out and to get to know you. I mean, I got to see Jeremy from Everyday Citizens Tactical, who I talk about on this page a lot. I share his stuff. Blake Flannery, he was at the CQB class on Monday, and he helped me out with a couple things, and we got to chat a bit. Him and Alex seem like really cool guys. I didn't get to spend too much time with them, but it's cool when you see people who are the same in real life as they are on their account. So that, I think, speaks a lot about those people. I didn't get to see or hang out with, I saw him, but I didn't get to catch up with him. I'm going to forget his name off the top of my head, but the Prepared Mindset podcast guy. He was there with his guys. I think he did the OTG CQB class. And go check out his podcast. He did a review of the event as well. So that he touches on a lot of really cool things as well. That's pretty much it, guys. I'm going to wrap this up because I know it's turned into a long video, and I hope that you got an idea of what the event was like, and I hope that you will attend next year. I hope that you will donate to Deliver Fund or other organizations that are fighting human trafficking. And I think that's pretty much it. Have a good one. We'll see ya.